Is overeating really what it's hyped up to be? Is it really that bad? Or is it really an issue of what we're actually eating and what sort of satiety cues we get from the specific foods that we choose to eat? If you're a busy man who's got a busy schedule, you've done well with your career, but now your diet's kind of fallen off and so is your health, and now you have some stubborn belly fat that you don't know how to lose, I'm your guy because I help career-driven men all around the world lose their stubborn belly fat and get a flat stomach without having to count, track, or restrict a single calorie, and by eating more food than what they've eaten in the past in other programs or with other diets they've tried before that felt like absolute torture. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it here. Just beware that my handwriting sucks with these whiteboard videos, but you'll still be able to see it. It's not childlike. So overeating, right? When it comes to overeating, focusing on what we're eating is going to be a lot more important than the quantity of what we're eating, right? So if we look at example 1 and example 2, we're going to pick two completely different foods here. Food number 1 is a brownie. Food number 2 is a ribeye. So let me ask you something real quick. If each of these foods here both had 500 calories, would they be equally as fattening? Yes or no? Fattening meaning that you would be able to store body fat around your stomach just because they both have 500 calories. Or is one a damn brownie and the other one is a steak? Yeah, option number 2. So one has a paragraph of ingredients full of artificial sugars that are man-made. It's a man-made food, and one is completely natural that is really just composed of one single ingredient, steak, meat, with just good quality saturated fat and good quality animal protein, full of water-soluble vitamins, right? Let me put a box around the 500 calories so you guys can really drive this home here. So with the ribeye here, we got more nutrients, right? More B vitamins, more fat-soluble vitamins. We got plenty of good quality nutrients here. We also get a much stronger satiety response. Put a check mark next to that. And we get little to no insulin response. Right, check there for sure, right? Plenty of fat-soluble vitamins, plenty of water-soluble vitamins, B1 through B12. We get more in the way of satiety, we get little to no insulin response. All of that here is a no. We get no nutrient content at all whatsoever from a brownie. We get a bunch of bleached wheat flour, maltodextrin, dextrose, or any other man-made added sugar that is not coming from the ground, right? So no nutrients at all. Little to no satiety because we're not getting any fat-soluble vitamins or any B vitamins at all whatsoever due to the lack of nutrition. So little to no satiety. Right? And we get a strong insulin spike from consuming a brownie. Pure processed sugar and processed carbohydrates here. So, think about it. Once again, now that we've really written it out here, I mean, this is just insane. When you really think about all the BS that is sprayed out there in the fitness industry, and we just simplified it right here. 500 calories of the brownie, 500 calories of the ribeye. We get plenty of fat-soluble, water-soluble vitamins from the ribeye, a strong satiety response, little to no insulin response. Yet with the brownie, there's no nutrient content. We can eat 100 brownies and still potentially may not be satiated, and we get a horrible insulin response. It's very straightforward. We can eat something like a brownie that is very, very easy to overeat because there's no nutrient content. We get little to no satiety, and we also get a terrible insulin response and also a very strong blood glucose response as well. Or we can choose to eat a ribeye that is nutrient rich and gives us plenty of satiety because of the dietary fat and dietary protein content that it has, regardless of the amount of calories that it has. So when we're focusing on eating foods like this, we don't really have to worry about overeating because we'll get to the point where we can only eat so much of it. And Dr. Jason Fung, I'll give him credit for this analogy. He talks about it all the time in his content, but it's the buffet analogy, right? You go to a buffet, you eat all these animal foods, you eat all the teriyaki chicken, the drumsticks, the ground beef, or whatever other animal food they're serving, and you eat so much of it to the point to where you cannot take another bite of it, right? Because you're getting so much satiety. But the moment the waiter or waitress drops a fortune cookie on your tab, you can eat that no problem, even if you've stuffed yourself with a bunch of animal foods. Why is that? Because there's no nutrient content, you get little to no satiety, and you'll also simultaneously get a bad insulin response. So it's not just the issue of overeating, but specifically what you're eating, right? So you guys that are struggling with binging or actually shutting down the process of overeating foods like this on the left, I've made a video going over how you can shut down your cravings with 4 simple steps. I'll link that down below in the video description. But when it comes down to it, you really just need to make your health a priority and just move it at the very, very top, especially for the deep underlying reasons as to why you want to lose this body fat in the first place. You want to be able to pick up your kids with no problem whenever you get to your 60s and 70s, whenever you get older. You want to be able to watch your kids grow up in the first place. You have a risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular risk that runs in the family. There could be all sorts of reasons. You want to take your shirt off in public without thinking about it. Those are the things that you need to think about before you actually grab a bag of chips or some cookies or a fortune cookie that gets dropped on your tab, right? And when you're eating more foods like this, it'll be a lot easier for you to not overeat foods like this right here, because you're going to be getting more satiety, you'll be more satiated, you'll be full, you'll be physically satiated, right? Your stomach will be completely full, and you'll be getting a good insulin response. You're going to be healthier, and you're going to be able to get the results that you want. And knowing that you guys have the urgency to make a change, and you just need to know what you should be doing with a little bit of an extra push every now and then, you will do this if you know what you need to do. But if you're still struggling to hold yourself accountable and you need someone to hold your feet to the fire to make sure you stay consistent with a workout regimen or a dietary protocol, a nutrition plan that is tailored just for you and your busy schedule, then I highly recommend you click the link on the top, middle, or bottom of the video description to speak with me directly, or if you have any questions about this video or anything I discussed, or if you want to learn more about how I can help you specifically, you can message me on Instagram. My link to my Instagram will be in the middle of the video description as well. But leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram or book a call if you're interested in speaking with me, and I will see you guys in the next video.